gentlemen, welcome one and welcome all to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. This is our Wednesday night Wildcard Player Prop episode. So what we're going to be doing, usually this is our AMA night, and we're still going to take AMAs, right? We're still going to take questions. We're still going to give you guys answers. But for the most part, we are focusing tonight on player props. So if you guys got questions about player props, whether that, no matter what app it is or what site it's on, I want to let you know that this is the show where you guys can go ahead and drop those questions in the chat, drop your favorite props in the chat, and be able to get our assistance tonight. Gator should be here in just a couple of minutes. He's wrapping up the previous podcast that he was on. He's literally in the middle of wrapping up right now. But in the meantime, between time, I want to go ahead and I want to make sure that I shout out our sponsors. First things first, shout out to GLD, promo code GLDG Rum. Ice out your neck with your favorite sports team, whether that be NFL, NBA, MLB, NCAA. We even have chains with Marvel Studios. We just did a big collaboration with New York drill rapper, the King of New York, 504. He on his Demon Time with the brand new Demon Time lineup over there at GLD. Yo, let's go ahead and get into a real clip so y'all see some of the things that we got popping.
Hop out in Miami when no land, I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, or turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, go where you're not.
Next, I want to shout out our homies over at Monkey Knife Fight and the Monkey Knife Fight app, available on iOS and Android. You can also log on to monkeyknifefight.com. Use promo code Rumboyz for your very first time whenever you go on to deposit some money. We are going to match you on your very first deposit all the way up to $100 whenever you utilize promo code Rumboyz. You play with a hundo, I'm going to match you on a hundo. You play with 50, I'm going to match you on 50. Whatever you are comfortable with, put your bankroll down. We're going to match you on that, double that thing up so that you can go out there and go put a run together on monkeyknifefight.com. Also, I want to shout all22.com, powered by Pro Football Focus, the brand new fantasy football format. Think of it as your Madden franchise mode, if you will, where you can draft a full 53-man roster. Get ready for the next NFL season with all 22, the brand new fantasy football format, where you could get skin on every piece of the game, drafting every single position on the field. And then finally, I also want to shout out our homies over at Champions Round. Link is in the description. Play our daily dozens, $12, okay? $12. You play our daily dozens. You get 7 props out of 12 correct, and you can win $2,400, all right? All you got to do is get 7. You hit 7 out of 12 right, you win $2,400. That's a damn good return on your investment right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my homie, the man of the hour, give it up for Gator. What's good, bro?
What is up, my guy? What is good?
What's good?
Man, I'm ready.
I was able to
props, man.
Hell yeah, I was able to stall a little bit there.
You did good. Yeah. I got your message, and I was like, oh, I'm trying to cut my show, and I had 2 more things to get through. I saw your message, and I was like, oh, all right, so one quick, and I had to press them real quick. I mean, dude, we went over by like 20 minutes. So
yeah,
it was
good.
But it was a good show, great show.
It was.
Yeah, so glad to be here. Glad to see what's happening in the chat. My boy Aiden, I see you.
Yep, Aiden's already dropping some. I'm gonna go back to the top.
Yeah.
And take care of that D Hop once it comes to the Jags. Oh Lord.
Oof.
Oh Lord.
Slow down.
Yes. Slow there, boy. Don't go there, boy. So this is, like I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, our player prop show. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the wrong boys and girls. What it do, dilly.
Drinking a Modelo tonight. I see you.
Yeah, it's always Modelo time. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had them in a glass bottle a couple weeks ago. Way better.
Yeah, I usually
glass bottle.
Yeah, I usually have them in bottles, but Dan had bought this case a couple of days ago, and like I still had like a couple of beers left, so I'm gonna finish it off tonight. So Aiden posting up first. Ayuk over 3.5 catches.
All right, let's get over here. I want to see what we got going on with.
And where are you playing that? Let us know
please.
where you guys are getting these as well, because we're going to be trying to get you the best value,
right?
While also simultaneously, throwing out our takes as well. I mean, obviously, people are going to play on the books that they want to, the apps they want to, but we want to make sure that we're giving the best knowledge possible.
Yeah, we've said this every time we talk about prop bets. That's over on DK. Okay, we've said this every time we talk about props. We want to look at multiple books. The two that I actually look at more than anything are the Underdog and DK. Those are the two that I look at the most. So on Underdog right now, he is sitting at 4. So that's just to keep that in the back of your mind. So you're looking at 3.5, and it is 3.5 on Underdog.
I would
go ahead.
I would favor Ayuk props just because it seems like Purdy favors Ayuk.
Yes. I'm trying to do multiple things at one time here. So I'm running through another. I want to see, to be quite honest, I want to see what Ayuk has done over the last 5 weeks. Is he getting? I'm not so much worried about if he's getting 4 receptions. I want to see that he's getting 8 targets, 9 targets. He's getting the opportunity, which I think he is. But again, I'm not 100% sure. So let me get over to where I know I can get him.
I'm looking at it now too.
Yeah. And so when I'm looking at these props, I go back and I look at what he's getting. So looking at the last 5 games, he got 3 targets, 2 receptions, 4 targets, 2 receptions. Then the last 3 games, 7 targets, 5 receptions, 12 targets, 9 receptions, 5 targets, 4 receptions. So at that 3.5 prop, let's look at. Okay, I'll go back to the Seattle game of Week 15, right? 4 targets, 2 receptions. You got to remember, you're playing the same team, right? So that I look at that,
for the 3rd time.
Correct. The Week 2 matchup, 8 targets, 5 receptions. So then you got to divide that in half. So he's getting roughly 4 receptions. He's collecting 4 receptions in those games, right? 3.5, 4 receptions. So that's how the books are looking at it. What did he average against those? And let's start the line there and let's see what's going to happen.
And you have to kind of look at it from the outside looking in. Okay, this team now has CMC. In Week 2, when they faced this team, they did not have CMC on the roster at that time. So correct. Of course, Ayuk is probably gonna those targets are gonna sway. Now this team has CMC. That greatly sways a ton.
You can sit there and say that, and that's absolutely 100% something you need to keep in the back of your mind. However, since they've had CMC, right? I want to say it was Week 10 that they got CMC. 7 targets, 4 targets, 8 targets, 9 targets, 3, 4, 7, 12, 5. That's how the targets rolled for Ayuk. I don't dislike the 3.5. I do not.
You have to. The only way that sways me away from the 3.5. I'm personally leaning the 3.5 and the 45.5, because I feel like this San Francisco defense is going to put the ball in the offense's hands a lot. Geno hasn't been his same beginning of the season, and that worries me. I feel like San Fran can come in and start off real hot. If their defense can get some turnovers early, those are extra opportunities to get Ayuk extra targets. I feel like because of that, I lean over on the 45.5. I lean over on the 3.5.
I'm taking the over on the 3.5, and I'm probably not going to touch the yardage.
Okay.
I think that yardage number is just too close. He could get 4 receptions for 7 yards. He could get 2 receptions for 65 yards and 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? It's variable. Yeah, I would play the over on the 30. I'm sorry, on the 3.5 catches, but I wouldn't touch the 45 and a half yards. I wouldn't touch it.
Like, and then I mean, if Woolen is healthy, then that also impacts things for the Seattle defense. That makes that Seattle defense that much more dangerous.
Well, you gotta remember too. It sounds like that Debo's going to be back this week.
Yep.
So you've got to take that into account. Ayuk's still going to probably get his targets, and he's probably still going to get his receptions. So that's why I would say the over on the 3.5. So all he's got to do is catch 4, of course. But the yardage is what's going to be concerning, at least in my mind, because I think they're going to try to feature the run game, and they're going to try to feature Samuel.
Yep. Well, I see that. I see that. I like that. By the way, we are not giving out any winners. You guys want winners? You're going to come and view us Friday night for winners of these games. Okay. We are only going into player props, and we're diagnosing games without giving away who we think wins.
We're going to try not to give away.
Exactly. We're going to do our dead level best. Johnson holds the most bizarre NFL stat in the sport, with the most receiving yards and catches with no TD. What's your insight on Johnson? Overrated? Say he's overrated.
I'm not going to say he's overrated. I mean, dude had almost 1,000 yards with Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett. I mean, don't get me wrong. Here's the problem.
But he also has the most clutch drops ever.
Oh, no, absolutely. His drops are a problem, but he still had over 800 yards, right? So the thing is with the holdout, right, at the beginning of the season, then you had Kenny Pickett, who, came in as a rookie. Mitch Trubisky, who's going to be the starter, so Kenny Pickett's over on a side field, basically playing, the taxi squad per se, scout team, and he's throwing the ball to Pickens. So they built a rapport as the two rookies, right? Johnson was not there. So he didn't even get a chance to throw to Johnson until week 7, week 8, basically. But
Johnson has also always had the drop problem, and with that, like the Steelers always trying to elevate guys to be the one before they're ready to be a one.
100%. But here's the other issue with that is he was 2 yards from finally getting a touchdown this week, right? And if he'd have got the touchdown, we wouldn't even be talking about the stat of most receiving yards without a TD, because he
no, I give you that. I give you that. I give you that. There's multiple sides to this. There is what I stated with them trying to hurry up and rush and develop someone and just automatically place a receiver to hurry up and be the guy. So there's that. Then there's also what you mentioned, and that's Trubisky and fucking Kenny Pickett throwing you the ball.
With Matt Canada calling.
Matt Canada as OC. Pickett still needs time to develop. That is still a project. That is going to be 3-4 years. That's not going to be overnight. So if you're expecting that Pickett's just going to automatically, you are my sunshine, I'm sorry, you're sadly mistaken. With that being said, and because there's also things that he has to adjust to as well. Think of it like when Kobe first came into the league. It took him time to adjust. He didn't just fucking come on and turn it on and was in Wamba right away. That had to develop.
No, he wasn't Wamba right away.
It was his second season. It was his second and third season that it really came on. It really came on.
You could sit there and say that you look at the progression of Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Right. What you're going to be looking at year compared to what he is this year. And by no means am I saying Pittsburgh's going to be, 6 wins higher than they were compared, like Jacksonville was. However, they weren't that far out of being in the playoffs with the BS they had. They have a few holes to fix. And it will make it better that Pickens going into his second season, knowing he's going in as a starter, knowing that in the offseason he's going to be able to, make some, let's go have a beer connection with, whether it's Johnson, whether it's Najee, whether it's his offensive line, whoever it is, So
they need something that brings them all together.
Correct. They need to go have a bowling night, drink a few beers, throw on some reggae, and let's close the bowling alley down. 4 a.m. I'm thinking 4 a.m. in Pittsburgh's a perfect time to close the bowling alley down.
Yep. And you got to think about it. The cheap is legal now, so sit back and roll something for players. Eli Mitchell over 41.5 rushing and receiving.
Love it. That's a hammer. That's a hammer for me, and here's why. Even with CMC, all right, he's played 4 games with CMC on the field. Listen to this. 31% of the snaps, 22% of the snaps, 21% of the snaps. Then he got re-injured, right? Last week, he played 16% of the snaps, 5 rushes, 55 yards, just rushing.
Excuse me.
Right? In the 3 weeks that at the beginning when CMC first got there, 18 attempts, 89 yards, 9 attempts, 59 yards, 7 attempts, 35 yards rushing, but he also had another 4 in the receiving game, right?
Yep.
So I love the combination because like I said a minute ago, they are going to try to feature the run game. I said CMC, but it's going to be the run game. There is no reason that they should pass this ball.
And again, kind of going into what I was saying earlier, I think that this San Fran defense allows to where this gives this offense plenty of opportunities to be able to get back on the field and put points on the board. That means more opportunities for Elijah. I think that this offense will probably have the most opportunities to be able to possess the ball out of all the games that we're going to go through and we're going to cover tonight. I like the Mitchell over 41.5. No matter what the snap share is, he's making the most of what he gets.
Right.
And that's something that's important.
When I first saw that, I saw 41.5 rushing. I didn't even keep reading. I don't like the 41.5 if it's just rushing, but I do like it as a combination.
Yep, I like it as a combination for damn sure. Because even if it's just one of those that he does, let's say he breaks out a big, 40, 45-yard run, hey, cool, we hit it right there, so I'm with that. Do you think Lamar plays looking like -8.5 to the Bengals?
I don't think it's become official, but I think it's all but official that he's going to be out.
I think that he is going to be out.
He hasn't practiced in 4.5, 5 weeks now.
And then they paid Roquan.
Right. Well, they paid Roquan, which is a whole separate issue. Then pay him. But I want to say today's Wednesday. I want to say it was yesterday. It came out that he was having some swelling in the hip.
Oh yeah,
which does not. He's not been on the practice field. He's been on the side field doing drills and things like that. And then he got swelling. It does not look good for Lamar playing this week. And if that's the case, I'm probably fading everything in the sense of
Baltimore. Yeah, no.
I probably wouldn't even play play any line in the game unless I'm looking at something like a mix-in, a Burrow. And actually, I got 2 lines.
I mean, maybe Dobbins ends up on like a DFS lineup.
Yeah, I got 2 lines for you that off of that game, and they are both Cincinnati. I would look at Burrow 273.5 passing, and I would probably press the under on that button right now. Just what he's done over the last 3 years or so, 2 years now against Baltimore. Yeah, he's had that one blow-up game where he had 400 yards, but he's not even averaging 250 in passing against Baltimore, even with that 400-yard blow-up game. And then the other one is Mixon. When I'm looking at these numbers, I'm looking strictly at underdog. I haven't even looked at DK's numbers yet, so just to give you an idea. But 24.5 receiving yards for Mixon. I do like that number as far as the over.
Yeah, I think that when you play this game, most of your card is going to be Cincinnati. You're going to look at it and it's going to just be a fuck ton of orange. You're going to be like, whoa. Even if let's say you build a showdown lineup for this, right? Majority of your lineup is going to be Cincinnati, dog. I can't even press you. I wouldn't even be surprised if you throw in the defense in the captain spot in like a lineup or two, and maybe some small pulls.
I'll put it to you. I'll put it to you like this. At least on underdog right now, I got to go look at DK real quick. But at least on underdog right now, there is not one, not zero. It's absolute zero line for anything Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, they're a plus 350 dog on the line.
Yep.
90% of the money is on Cincinnati. Anytime touchdown
it doesn't look nice there.
Yeah, anytime touchdown for Dobbins is at a plus 200. And he's the first player, the highest ranked Raven on that entire offense for anytime touchdown. Andrews is at 225, and then everyone else after that is freaking ass milk.
Yeah, so with all that, I'm probably not even touching the game. I may build a card that has every game except that game in it.
It's well, honestly, man. I mean, it's beautiful for DFS. This is a good build a lineup game. Dobbins with a 61.5 over under rushing and receiving. Or no, I'm sorry, no, just 61.5 just rushing. 61.5 just rushing for Dobbins. Damn.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
And they're not even giving him a rushing and receiving props. They're giving him 61.5 just rushing.
Okay, so even on DK, they're I just wanted to see what defensive lines they put up here. And of course, at DK has it. It's defense and special teams. So they have nothing for kickers other than Evan McPherson.
Damn, when Tucker's not even getting love,
they don't have a half or a 1.5 for Tuck. Roquan Smith 9.5 tackles. Patrick Queen 6.5 tackles. And that's it. Chuck Clark. They got Chuck Clark 5.5 tackles. That's it.
That's a DFS game. You're playing that for DFS purposes only.
But when you see lines like that, you go to the other. Yeah. So again, we tell you go look at multiple sites. You also need to look at what the sites are saying for defensive stuff as well before you go and just hammer a number that seems like, okay, that seems like a good number. It should happen. Then go look at the defensive side of things and go, the motherfuckers aren't even putting a line out for anything defensive for the team, basically.
Yep. Yeah.
Vegas is not there to lose money, I promise.
Yeah, exactly. They're not there to lose money. They're there to take yours. ETN over 15.5 receiving yards.
Hammer.
Yeah.
It's not even a question.
Off instant, off just rip. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm saying yes.
Yeah, that's not even a question. That could be done. Listen, we've seen the injuries with ETN. We I hit this the other week where I took ETN I think it was for somewhere around the range of like 74 yards combined rushing and receiving. He played like 4 plays, didn't even come near it, so take that into account. But 15.5 that's an absurd low number, especially going up. I know the Chargers D has been good over the last few weeks, but Jacksonville's at home. It's on the grass. They are going to be super hyped.
In LA, the San Diego, whatever you want to fucking call them, historically does not fare well in the playoffs.
It's the San Diego Angels Chargers.
Yep, San Diego, Los Angeles Angels Chargers. Really quick. Hashtag not an ad before we get back into you guys' comments in the chat. This weekend, we will because of how many cards this game is. First off, you guys have probably seen this on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. All right, it's this football drinking game called The Last Leg. All right, this is a perfect drinking game for the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. And what we are going to do for you guys,
show me the side of that box. Show me the side of that box. No, the other side. Okay, turn it sideways so I can see. It says age 21 plus.
Yep.
2 players, 100 cards. Okay,
Yep.
I just saw the age 20. I've never seen this.
So
I don't do TikTok,
So we are going to be starting Friday night. We're going to be grabbing a couple of cards out of here. And in between takes, we will randomly play a football drinking game.
Oh, shit.
So people are going to get fucked up between Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. We're going to have cards for play-by-plays. We're going to have cards for our Friday night podcast. It's going to be a great weekend here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. So shout out to The Last Leg. We love you. And shout out to the Mrs. Celeste for grabbing the game because this is her deck.
That's here's the fucked up part is this sounds like it's going to be a rigged fucking game. It really does. It sounds like it's going to be completely rigged in the favor of Rumboyz Robbie.
I don't know. I mean, if I end up getting fucked up the most, I don't know what any of the cards are. So
not yet. You don't.
I'll be pulling them on stream.
Yeah. You're going to be okay. Then that card's not in the game. That card's not in the game.
Nah, we know I wouldn't do that.
You're gonna.
Johnson.
Okay. This stack is for a Gator. This stack is. For me.
Here's Friday's cards. Here's Saturday. Here's Sunday.
That's right.
Johnson's incredibly talented. I mean, he played with the limited rotation wide receiver group in 2019, right when he came in. He's great, but just can't make up for the most necessary plays he needs to make. I mean, let's also take into account his size. That's also a factor as well. That man is tiny. He's my size. So, I mean, there's that. What's up, Matt? What's up?
What up, Matt?
Yep. I'm in the playoffs. I'm in a playoffs pool for money. We're playing with spreads. Ooh.
All right. So yeah, hit us with the spreads, and we'll try to give you our best.
For the first round, he's taking Vikings minus 3.
We can't do that.
We can't.
We can't do that yet.
Yeah, today's Wednesday. Matt, we're gonna have to answer that stuff for you Friday.
Matt, when do you have to have your answers in by?
Yeah, yeah. And while we're waiting on that, what do you think of an Austin Eckler anytime TD? Yes.
You got to hammer that, right? I mean,
you have to take that. You have to take that. And you have to parlay it with something juicy. Like I would 3-leg that with some dope shit for real. I would even take that and do a couple of different anytime TD scores across a couple of different games. Like I'd be willing to do that for real.
So while Matt's doing his, and I want to tell you about a story that happened this week.
Oh, he already locked in the Vikings at -3. It doesn't matter what we say. I mean, aside from our opinions.
Right. So Monday, I don't think I even said this to you on Monday. Because it didn't dawn on me until after the game was over. My dad called me and he was like, "Hey, what's the line on the game?" Talking about the national championship game. I'm like, well, last time I looked at it is at 13.5, and I'm not touching it. I said, Georgia's going to win, but I'm not going to touch it. The money just doesn't make sense.
None of it makes sense.
So to give you an example, just taking Georgia, given 13, you put a $10 bet down, you win, of course, your money back, but you win $8 and change. If you took TCU, with 13, you put a $10 bet, you make $9, plus, of course, your bet back. And I told him, I said, the only way this makes sense is you got to bet a big dollar amount, 100 plus, and parlay, take Georgia, given the 13, and then, of course, the over. So I did. $100 bet, $275 in return.
Beautiful.
Along with my $100 bet back. So my dad calls me the next day and he's like, so I took your advice. And I'm like, forgot all about the conversation. Of course, national championship, you get drinking, whatever, you forget about. And I'm like, okay, what advice did I give you that you took? And he said, over the game last night. I said, oh, God. How pissed is Ma? And he says, well, she's not here. I'm like, oh, so you sent her out of town and then started gambling. He goes, well, I only gambled with what you said. And I'm like, all right, what'd you do? And he goes, well, I took Georgia and I took the over. I said, oh, so you won? He goes, oh, yeah, I won. I said, okay, Dad, how much did you put down? He goes, 1,000.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, Dad. He goes, well, you said the only way to play it was to play with big money. I'm like, well, Jesus, I got 3 stacks coming back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fuck it. Fuck it. You know, fuck it. I'm with that.
Yeah. So was I. I just thought that was a great story because, you know, it's one of those ones you as a kid, your parent calling and asking you for advice, especially on, you know, gambling or anything like that. So I thought that was nice.
I grew up doing it. I get it. Yeah. I get it.
Yep. So going to the Austin Eckler anytime touchdown. I'm assuming, Leafs, that this is anytime rushing or receiving.
Yep, and we can also tackle the 35.5 for Eckler too at the same question.
Yeah, I would. Okay, so I don't know what site that's on Underdog. This was a.
If it's Aiden, it's likely DK.
Well, that's Leafs. Oh, at least okay. Aiden's got it on DK. Yeah. Okay, so on Underdog earlier today when I looked, and it is. Okay, so it still is. It's at 38.5 for Eckler. So I'm definitely taking the 35.5. That's a
I got 36.5, and I'm taking it.
Yeah, that's a hammer for me at 35.5. But going to the Eckler anytime touchdown. In the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. 6 weeks, you got 6 touchdowns. The only time, last 5 weeks, 6 touchdowns rushing. The only time he didn't was, of course, last week. But it's Jacksonville. They give it up on the ground. So yeah, I love the Eckler anytime touchdown. I love Eckler over 35.5. So yeah. Hammering both of those.
Yeah, I like both of those. Let's see here. So there's actually the next comment that I'm going to bring up. I have something that I actually want to reference here, really fast. So Steelers Nation asks, who do you see having a better game, Dak or Brady? So before I answer this, let me just preference that Brady is undefeated against the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, so there's that. Secondly, though, along with Brady being undefeated against the Dallas Cowboys, there is this narrative for this season. The Dallas Cowboys win-loss pattern as follows. Lose a game, win 4 in a row. Lose a game, win 2 in a row. Lose a game, win 4 in a row. Lose a game, win 2, and then lose a game, which they just did against Washington. If the Cowboys win 4 games in a row, then that's what it would take in order for them to win the Super Bowl. So there is also that random narrative as well to go along with that. Who I think has a better day? I am going with the undefeated Tom Brady. Tom Brady has a variety of weapons, a set of skills that makes him a nightmare. Okay, for people like the Dallas Cowboys defense.
His set of skills is called the GOAT, number 1.
The GOAT.
That's plain and simple. But here, go to your, whatever stat you want to bring up, how they win, how they lose. The problem is the question is simply who has the better game. We're not asking who's winning or who's losing, right? So simply the better game. The last 7 games, Dak has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 picks.
Those picks have been getting bad.
Right? And a couple of those have gone for pick 6s. right?
And he has he tied the league for interceptions. Yeah.
Right. So who has the better game? I just want to compare the numbers just in these last few games. At the same time, Brady has 7 picks in those games, right? So I'm not picking on Dallas being a Bucs fan. I'm going to pick on Dallas because Dallas ain't that good.
Dallas going Dallas.
Dallas
is
ain't
going
that
Dallas.
good, right? Here's another prop that I'm going to throw at you. Tony Pollard, 22.5 receiving yards. Under.
I love it.
Under. Here's why. Tampa gives up the 3rd least to opposing running backs in the receiving game.
I love that. I like that. I like that stat.
So as good as Tony Pollard has been, he's going up against a defense that
doesn't give a shit.
Doesn't give a fuck. To give you a, for instance, the last time we saw Tampa be a really good defense, probably week 1, or as a team, a whole team, probably week 1, right? Guess who they played in week 1? Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what Pollard got? 2 for 2, 14 yards. Hammer the under.
Okay. Aiden's saying Keenan Allen under 74.5. Time to put some respect on Tyson Chandler. Marvin Jones over 2.5 catches, and Jamal Agnew to get 7 yards receiving and rushing. Those are my Jags props, though. And Trayvon Walker to get a sack. I like Walker to get a sack.
I like the Trayvon Walker.
Keenan Allen scares the shit out of me.
Agnew getting 7. I'm not on that. That's receiving yards. I'm not. It's receiving and rushing. Okay, so I could deal with that. Okay, Marvin Jones. No, Marvin Jones ain't getting 3 receptions. I don't see that. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Don't get me wrong. They could just he could stumble into 4 catches.
Yeah. I just don't
Allen,
see. I don't see. I don't
under
see
74.
I don't think.
See, Tyson Campbell though, he's not a shadower. That's the problem. Tyson's not a shadower. Dude, no.
I'm not taking the under on that.
I'm not touching Keenan Allen. You never know what you're going to get with the Jags D. I would
take the over.
I do like the Ag. You're taking over on 74.5 for Allen?
Yeah, I would take the over, bro.
I probably won't touch that line. I do like the Trayvon Walker getting a sack, though. Absolutely.
I love that one.
San Diego gives up. San Diego.
I started it. See what I did?
The Chargers give up. Well, it's because that's what they've been for so long. San Diego Superchargers.
Miss it.
Even Arnold Schwarzenegger knows how to say it properly.
I hate the Spanos family. I hate the Spanos family.
But give me Trayvon Walker getting a sack. He might get 3. Who knows? But he's definitely getting 1.
Doable. No, for damn sure doable. Let's see here. If the Vikings win and cover, I have them in the next round. If the Giants win but don't cover, I have the Giants. I think, I don't know, I gotta read it.
Nice.
Matt, I like that strategy.
Yo, Duke Pitt basketball game. What's happening? How was it, George? Hope it was good.
Yeah, I definitely hope that shit was good. Yeah, Duke had a terrible first half. George Pitt covered. Hey, Aiden's like, yo, I love like we turn this into a gambling show and everyone's just like, yo, like the whole chat, like it's like, yo, we got props, we're ready. Have you guys seen the Cowboys versus the Cowboys grass versus turf stats? Didn't I bring that up? I think I brought that up last week.
You might have, and if I remember that you did, it did not favor them.
Yeah, I don't think it favored them. Everybody's saying that they would take Brady. Give me the Chris Godwin over in receiving yards and Mike Evans for the anytime TD.
Yeah, so right now on Underdog, it's 69.5. Let me just double check and make sure that I am giving you exact numbers as of this moment. this afternoon.
Diggs,
and
by the way,
still,
7. What's up to our Twitch viewers? What's good, Twitch? What's up, Diggs?
Yeah, Godwin is still at 69.5 receiving yards, and you got to hammer that over. I mean, he's been so dominant in the second half since he's felt comfortable coming off of that injury. It's absolutely insane how good he has been collecting targets left and right, collecting. Yeah, I mean, he's not only just getting the targets, he's getting the receptions. I mean, there has been since he's actually felt right. I'm going to take it after the bye. There's only been 3 games where he's been under 69, and 2 of those he was at 63, and then the other one, of course,
I got him at 68.5, dog.
Yeah, then you got to hammer that, right? So the other game was against probably the best defense in football against San Francisco. He went for 54, but he's getting the target, so he's getting the opportunities. You know, Brady loves that slot, and that's where Godwin is thriving. Give me Godwin to a 69, 68, 60. Give me Godwin at 74, probably.
And then you got Evans at a plus 150 for any time TD. When I see a number like that, I mean, it's just favoring the guy.
Listen, what you saw 2 weeks ago, take last week out because they only played basically the first quarter and a half. What you saw 2 weeks ago, and George knows this because George won a championship on this. You saw Brady and Evans click, right? Well, here's the thing. They're playing against Dallas. You know what? Dallas loves Trayvon Diggs to cover the number 1. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention if he
I don't know why.
But here's the thing.
I don't know why he bites on fucking route.
He is so easy to get the double move on.
Yep.
All you got to do is throw 3 hooks, right?
Aiden, yes, I love that prop.
Boom. Throw 3 hooks, and then he's gone. So give me an anytime touchdown. Mike Evans. Absolutely love that.
Especially at a plus 150. At a plus 150, I feel like you gotta take that.
Yeah. Oh shit, we got a we got a Twitch user viewer.
Yeah. Diggs BT Dubs.
What's happening? Twitch.
What's good? Right when we were talking Trayvon Diggs stepped up in the chat.
What's going good?
He's probably like, yo, fuck y'all. I love the Arden Key to get a sack prop. I love that one. I wouldn't mind even playing both the Walker and Key to get one. I see that defense collecting about 3 of them total. Give me that. Give me that.
Yeah, that's actually going to be probably. I as a Tampa fan, I don't know. I get why the NFL put the
Dallas is 1-4 on the grass.
Yeah, I get why the NFL put the 4-5 game or the 5-6 game, whatever it is, for Tampa and Dallas as the Monday night game. They could have very, very, very easily put it as a 4-5 of LA and Jacksonville, and I think that game's going to be the better game as far as what we want to see.
I do believe. Go ahead. I'm sorry, my fault.
No, go ahead.
I was just addressing what George saying. Brady will elevate in the playoffs. Absolutely, absolutely.
Does every year.
That's one thing that I have zero shame admitting. So here's one thing I also have zero shame admitting. I am a very long time bet against Brady. Like, I was a part of that fan club for a very long time because you just hated to see the guy win so fucking much in his New England years.
One guy should never have that much luck, right?
Right, exactly.
This game is a lot of luck too.
Exactly, so like I was very much that Falcons, that Falcons comeback. I was like, fuck. Like,
well,
I can't
that was Matt Ryan. I mean, we've seen him jump off that cliff multiple times now.
Exactly. But I mean, it's like no matter what, this man just finds ways to defy the odds and defy the doubters and the non-believers. I expect it to happen again. I just do. It's hard for me to after years of heartache and pain as a young 20-year-old, Now that I'm in my 30s, I think I could just accept greatness of what Brady is.
I don't think it's hard at this point. I mean, at some point, even as a Tampa fan, at some
What up,
point,
Weeds?
I hated Brady, right? Because he just kept doing it and never gave anybody else an opportunity. It was ridiculous how much favor he was getting, whether it be
For a
by
while,
officials, whether it be by the NFL, whatever you want to call it,
yep, between like 5 and 6.
Like
I want to say 4, 5, and 6. Rings 4, 5, and 6. It was kind of just like it got old for a minute and got like a little hard to watch.
Right. So I mean, some of these presidents don't get away with as much shit as Brady got away with, or the New England Patriots got away with, right? So there was some of the shit that New England was getting away with, or even got caught with, and they still go and win a fucking championship, right? So we're all sitting here trying to be fucking football fans and trying to enjoy our teams, and we all know at the end of the day, we may make the Super Bowl, but we ain't winning that fucker.
The fucker.
Now he's a Tampa fan, and I'm like, well, shit. We might not even get if we get in the playoffs, we got a fucking chance. And he's
George, I agree with that sentiment right there. It has made me made me appreciate his greatness a lot more. But to have the record that the Bucks have the personnel to where they could run the fucking table. Let's just be completely honest.
Yeah, this is the first year in his career, if I'm not mistaken, that he has a losing record.
And still in the motherfucking playoffs.
And still in the playoffs. So the
NFL
cheat
says Weeds.
100%. The NFL is actually, it wasn't until about 2001 where the NFL started getting rigged. And it was because Brady came into the league and they're like, well, you know what? This guy right here, we're going to rig it for him.
We can make some money.
We're going to rig it for him and him alone.
Netflix is about to have a fucking field day with his story. I don't think we touched on anything. We literally neglected like anything and everything that dealt with Miami Buffalo. Like we did not bring up Miami Buffalo. We didn't bring up anything Minnesota at all. So like I feel like we should kind of delve into those two a little bit here.
Okay.
What are some of your favorite props that you're looking at when you analyze those two games?
Well, here's the first thing I noticed when let's talk about Buffalo Miami first.
So Skylar Thompson's a starter.
Well, I
think we first got to throw that out there.
Yeah, let's just throw this out here. There's not a single game prop on underdog for Miami. Not a receiving, not a rushing, not a anything on underdog, right? So that's quite alarming, right? The line for Miami Buffalo opened up at 11 or 11 and a half. Was bet down as early as this morning down to 9, right? And everybody was freaking out. It was like, oh shit, Tua's gonna play. Noontime, 1 o'clock, somewhere in that range, it came out that Tua's officially ruled out. Skylar Thompson's going to be the starter. As soon as that news come out, boom, 13. Insane number. And I even tweeted this out earlier. I don't know what has to happen for Miami to be in the game. I mean, unless one of the comments was Buffalo's got to forget how to get to the stadium. Like, I mean, they show up, kind of thing. I
mean, the best
only...
you can say. I mean, Josh Allen's a plus 115 to throw a pick.
Yeah. So I know I said earlier,
damn,
the I'm staying away from Baltimore side of the Baltimore-Cincinnati game. I'm probably just staying away from this game altogether. But you can't say, okay, George says Diggs anytime touchdown, Knox over receiving. Knox is he's a flip a coin. He may
But you
catch the
can
ball.
but you can take some of these props and you can parlay them with things that are in other games.
Sure, but you got to be 100%. Otherwise, don't let this one game be the prop that you don't make to win, right?
And how many times have you crossed games on just straight up player props and you've hit?
Yeah, but this game scares me because this game could be all of a sudden a James Cook game. You may not even see Diggs in this game. This could be, we're going to bring in, Josh Allen may only play the first half of this game. If they get up 35-0 in the first half, you may not see Josh Allen in the second half, and they may not even have Josh Allen throw the ball, right? This could be strictly rushing. Just to throw it down McDaniel's throat, right? So this is one game that I probably wouldn't touch at all. Okay, I want to look at what George is asking here. James Cook, 36.5 rushing. I would probably go the over right there.
Yeah, I would take the over. There's props in this game. There's still money to be made.
Sure, but I'm not trusting Dawson Knox to catch and go for 31. I'm 32 yards for Dawson Knox. He could have 5 receptions and not get 12.
Not hit that. Yeah, not hit that. Yeah.
He's been known to do it multiple times.
Because he's going to be more so your end zone threat, your jump ball type of guy, that fade route type of guy. That's what they usually use Dawson Knox for. They're not using him to get the yardage, and you're asking him to get 32.
Yeah,
32.
Dawson Knox at plus 195 anytime TD. I might take that.
I could rock with that.
Cooks. I might take that and Cooks and be done. Be done with the game altogether.
That Cook and fuck it, throw in the Buffalo there. Well, I mean, the Buffalo for sacks. Buffalo for sacks. You see what I almost did? You see what
Yeah. I was trying to get there and I couldn't cut you off fast enough. All right, let's see.
I said Buffalo for sacks. I like Buffalo for sacks. Yeah.
Okay, here's another thing. Going back to what I said again about the Baltimore.
Mostert rushing.
Baltimore stuff. They don't have a prop for the Miami kicker.
We are underestimating Miami's pass rush, but to that sentiment, George, Allen is a plus 115 to throw a pick. No tool will make it a non-competitive game, says Karam. Albert, what is good, bro?
What's going on, Albert?
Allen has been turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, this is why I think
that's over 2.5 field goals.
And I like that. I'd like it more if it was at 1.5. If you could find it at 1.5. But going back to what George just said about Allen turning the ball over recently. This is why I truly think this is going to become a running game. There is no reason for them to try to throw the ball all over the yard, right? I want to see what the passing props are receiving props for yardage. Even the receiving props are down. 77.5 for Diggs. That's a low number.
Yeah.
47.5 for Gabriel Davis. I mean, this is the kind of game you're looking at with these two. Yes, it's in Buffalo. I get it. But there's no reason for Buffalo to go out there and try to stress the passing game. I think it's going to be 100% rushing game. Again, why I don't want to touch the game. Okay. There's no hard guarantee.
It is 1.5.
Okay. That would be the prop that I would take.
It is, yeah, for field goals it is 1.5. PAT is 2.5. I'd still be comfortable with the Tyreek lines regardless of what they are. He's a catch and run guy, pretty matchup and QB proof. Waddle is the guy I wouldn't touch.
George, the problem here is there is no line for any Miami player.
Yeah.
There's no line for a Tyreek Hill. There's no line for a Jalen Waddle. There's no line for Mostert. There's no line.
Nope. Holy shit. Wow.
That's the problem. That should right there tell you this game does not even need to be bet on.
Yeah, Vegas doesn't even give a fuck about that game.
Unless you have a guarantee, right? So like the Tyler Bass 1.5 field goal. Okay, that one I can see, right? But there's no line on any player for Miami. Stay away from the game. There's no line.
You say, that's a clear indicator. You fucking, yeah. Eventually, yes, there'll be something posted, and when there's something posted Friday night, we'll definitely address it. When it changes.
A couple weeks ago, there was a on a Wednesday night. There was no line, or there was a line posted for what game was it? But then come Friday, they took it off the board. They took the whole game off the board Friday.
Yeah, George, those are pretty much our locks right there. I mean, the James Cook rushing, just because, yeah. Let's see here. So, final one that we got to get into player props for. Giants, Minnesota. This one is super interesting because, like, growing up, like, we've seen crazy shit in playoff matchups with both of these teams. And then immediately the first comments that bring up the Giants. Taco, your Giants are getting bitched. Gosh. Vegas doesn't have enough tape on Skyler to be confident in their lines. Ain't that the fucking truth? But even if I was an oddbreaker, I'd be like, yeah, we're not wasting our time on this shit, guys. So Giants, Vikings, like, weird matchup. Two franchises that, like, their fan bases are just, yeah.
Yeah, I love this matchup, to be quite honest.
Fuck, it's gonna be so good.
Someone's
gonna cry in a car at the end of this.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith is not. It's gonna be please post this to Twitter. Whoever does this, I need to compare that with Stephen A. Smith's tweet. I think it was last year when he was ranting in the car. That was so good, so good. Did you see that? That was so classic. It's classic Stephen A.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
this game. I love this game, to be quite honest. We saw these two go head to head a few weeks ago.
Both defenses give up ass and titties.
If it wasn't for a 62-yard field goal, we would still be playing this game. Well, of course, other than the NFL has a fucking tie.
You're so mean.
We could still be playing this fucking game. So I actually have a card I've already submitted for this game.
You would. You're probably gonna submit another one on this game.
I'm actually doing one right now.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna do a 10 for 200 right here. Just because I can. So
this is why we're friends.
So here's the thing. There's two big ones that I love in this game. We all know that Minnesota loves just giving up passing yards. They just love giving up passing. They give up like 310, 311, something like that on the average per game. So one of the ones that I'm going to hammer on this is 23.5 receiving yards for Saquon Barkley. This is very possible to be a negative game script for the Giants. Could be playing from behind a good little bit. So I'm definitely hammering the over. All of us, they get into the second half of games and it's like, oh wait, we got Saquon Barkley. Oh shit.
But weird spooky shit happens like with Minnesota where like Miracle in Minnesota type shit.
Yeah. And that's all fine and good. I don't hate
Gary Anderson type shit.
Yeah.
Like you have to think about that when you think Minnesota and you think playoffs, or like when you think Giants and you think playoffs, like helmet catches and having terrible regular season records and just going on complete playoff runs. Like these are things that you think about with these two teams. And the fact they're playing each other, I'm just like painting it in my head. I'm like, who's gonna fuck it up for the other first?
But here's the thing: is that they played the game 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago, whatever it was, in Minnesota. The game's gonna be this game is going to be played in Minnesota as well.
I was at the bar for this game. I got fucked up
Saquon
that
Barkley
day.
went 8 of 10, 49 yards receiving.
We're taking Saquon. We're taking Saquon on that
prop.
prop.
I'm taking Saquon at 23.5. Here's the
this
other
is
one.
True. Our boy is back for Minnesota. And then they got both of our boys.
Yes.
They got Hawkinson and Irv.
Yep. So and then that's the next one I was going to. If I can get over here, I'm trying to get numbers 100% before I just pull shit out of my ass, even though I pretty damn close to what I've got. Here's one that I am gonna hammer. Justin Jefferson. They're giving you was it 93.5 receiving yards, right? Like really? Like here's free money.
The best receiver in football. I'm taking that. I'm taking that. Do you even go alternate and just sway it to like 101, 102, some shit like that? Like,
so against the Giants,
do you get greedy on that? Like, do you get greedy on that?
He had 133, 16 targets, 12 receptions, 133 against the Giants when they played. Now, you want to hear, this is my card I just submitted. Get over here.
Give it to me.
There is so many. I got so many cards. What the fuck is going on? I am a fucking degen when it comes to this shit now.
Well, bro, this is what this whole channel is for.
Well, that's... How do I find it? There it is. Pick 'em. All right, so Daniel Jones over 1.5 touchdown passes. I like that. Greg Joseph, 1.5 field goals made, which seems to be the standard. Go ahead and give me
hammer.
Saquon Barkley, 23.5 receiving yards. Hammer. Jefferson, 93.5 receiving yards. Hammer that. And Daniel Bellinger, 23.5 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Yes.
So there's that's a little.
Damn it! Throw a sack in there somewhere too. Fuck.
Well, this is on underdog, so I got the 5 legs.
Okay, yeah, 5-legger.
So yeah, 5 picks, $10, win 2 hondos, and I like it. I like that. I like that. There's a little bit of risk. Where's the risk?
But
Daniel Jones passing for 2. It's Minnesota. Saquon Barkley getting 23. No. Daniel Bellinger getting 23. No. He's getting that in the first half. Oh, here's the risk. I should have, and I went higher on everything. I should have went Justin Jefferson under. That would have been the risk.
Yeah, that would have been the risk. I don't, but no one's gonna. You're not shutting down the best receiver. There's two motherfuckers in these playoffs that you're not shutting down: Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, there's one thing. I don't look. If you have paid attention to anything I have said over the last however long, I don't look for. I don't like betting the under. I want to find. I can go the over. I don't like the under.
Like that, yeah. No one who likes betting unders.
Well, they put you in a spot where sometimes it's like, oh, I feel like I got to do this. No, you don't.
Well, yeah, there's somewhere you just like no. I've had mornings where I've woken up especially this season where I'm like, I just know that this is gonna be an under day. Like if I'm gonna make money, I know what I gotta do. Like there was a lot of point spreads this season where I was like, I want to take pretty much after week 3, I kind of gave up on smashing overs. There's only like 2 times where on a Sunday I woke up and I was like, fuck it, we're just going over on everything. It's super hard to and this is actually a perfect segue. Now we got through all the games. To kind of just wrap up here. We touched on it earlier. Is different betting styles. I mentioned earlier, I think this is a perfect when you have a small slate like this, day in, day out, like you're going to be dealing with this weekend. This is a perfect weekend to where you can kind of cross a couple of, TD scorer cards. You can cross games. I don't want you guys to be, first off, you're already 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a problem. First off, you're already taking risk by gambling. Okay, so I don't want to hear.
Don't gamble your rent money or your bill money or car money.
Correct.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Only gamble what you can afford to lose.
With that being said and stated, this is the weekend where you can cross games, and it be completely acceptable, and it not just burn your money and just go. I'm not recommending the whole SGP thing for this weekend. These are the playoffs. You only have a couple of games left. SGPs are very hard to fucking hit. Unless you're building very small leg SGPs or very small SGPs, 4 legs, cut it off. 4 legs, done. Don't fucking start trying to build 6-leg SGPs. If you want to start building 6, 8 legs, type shit, that's where you can build a card with the whole slate, which we have hit on before in the playoffs. We're really good at that. If you want to, do it with a couple of player props, we purposely did this show to where if you wanted to do the whole SGP thing or SGP thing, you can. You can. With the advice that we gave you and the advice that we're also going to give you on Friday, you're going to be able to have 2 episodes to where you're going to be able to take research and put it together. If that's the strategy you want to take. I am personally recommending, though, crossing cards. Maybe find 2 games that you really like and or a couple of games that you really like or a couple of things from all the games that you like and putting it together that way. Or playing like a whole day and putting player props together that way. And then, of course, throwing in some over-unders and some money lines and things of that nature, which we're really going to get into the nitty-gritty of those things on Friday night's episode, which then you'll be able to get everybody's picks and everybody's, kind of mind and thought process. That's what I'm doing this week. That's where I'm kind of focusing my energy is cross the cards, seeing what I can make happen, just finding that sweet right combination. I think that's really going to be the recipe for success for not just myself, but for a lot of you guys out there as well. Probably not the weekend to worry about crossing sports. I think that if you focus on player props this weekend, it could be a lot more profitable for you with the combination of some of the game that we're going to spit to you guys Friday night. What's your strategies, bro, for this weekend?
Oh man, so I missed some of what you just said right there. Apologize. Man, I look at it like this: when I'm going to put any kind of dollar amount into a parlay, whether it be a single match or whether I'm doing a parlay. First thing I'm not doing is spending anything I have to have. That's number one. Let's be responsible. Mm-hmm. This is for fun. I do it for the aspect of getting my rocks off kind of thing.
Yep. Honestly.
Right.
Knowing that I can beat the book. Oh, yes.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. And I haven't been great. I've been good. Haven't been great. I haven't lost a ton. But I haven't gained a ton either, right?
I've broken even.
Yeah, I've done a little bit better than break even. But
that's the better way.
I'm not paying my bills with it, right? This is something that
I could pay a couple of bills. I could pay a couple of bills.
Buy dog food. That's about what you're doing. Is buying you're paying for dog food,
a couple of groceries,
even. Right?
You're getting a phone bill,
ketchup. You're getting a bottle of ketchup and 2 packs of hot dogs. Right?
Your cell phone bill, little shit, little bills.
Yeah, we're not trying to pay a house payment, right?
Yeah.
So my strategy when I go into these is I'm probably pretty conservative when I try to pay or when I try to play these games. So I don't like to take a ton of risk, right? I like you were saying earlier about the Bills game. I don't want to touch that game because it's a super risky game. The way I look at the game, it's super fucking risky, right? So I want players that are going to be involved in the game for all 4 quarters.
Yep.
So I look at, running backs are super volatile, whether you're playing in DFS, whether you're playing fantasy, or whether they're playing in real games. It's super volatile.
Defense wins championships, and this is where all these defenses are damn good defenses.
Yeah, I don't touch a lot of running back props unless they're like super low, like a Barkley prop at 23.5. This dude, I mean, seriously, I don't touch a lot of running back props. Mixon, 24.5. Okay, I'll touch that prop. That can be something that can be done in one
quarter
reception, right? A quick screen, they can get 24 of them real quick. So I look more to the props of, I look at some of the elite receivers, like a Jefferson, a Chase. What are those numbers? And then, okay, what is the second tier of that particular team? Right. So when I'm looking at like oh shoot, where'd it go? Get back over here. I just want to give you a for instance here. So when I'm looking at, I'm gonna throw up. Okay, here we go. When you look at a Seattle, for instance, right? DK is sitting there at 61.5 receiving yards. Well, who's his number 2? Tyler Lockett. 60.5. I'm not touching either one of those receiving props.
Yeah, one of them's not going to hit. One of these things not like the other.
Especially knowing that they're playing against one of the best defenses in the game. One of them's going to hit. One of them's not going to hit. The one I'm going to pick is the one that's not going to hit, right? So then I scroll down to a.
Why are you saying that, Leafs?
A Stephon Diggs, 79.5. Gabe Davis, 49.5. They will probably both be under. But somebody's going to take the over, and that's where Vegas is going to make their money. So that's what I'm looking at. But here's the number this is the one that I want people to look at, right? Because both of these will probably go over because of who they're playing and the number. So Justin Jefferson at 93.5 receiving yards. We all know he's hammering that. He's going to get 104.
Oh, he's about to show out in these playoffs.
Right?
Oh, he's about to show out in these playoffs.
Who's his number 2? Who's his number 2 wide receiver?
Thielen.
What do you think the number is? Without looking, what do you think the number is?
Give me 44.5.
38.5.
God damn it. I was so close. Why does that always happen?
Well, but here's my question is, how did they both not hit? They're playing the fucking Giants.
What's Thielen's anytime TD?
I don't have those numbers.
Here, let me look. Let me look. I got you. No, I got you. No, I got you. I got you.
But that's how I'm looking at it when I'm going to place.
Bro, you know numerology, right?
Okay, I'm gonna guess it somewhere around.
Guess it. Please guess it. His anytime.
Probably 375.
No, plus 195.
Ooh.
Plus 195 keeps popping up. Plus 195 keeps popping. That's a recurring number in this show.
Okay, but here's the next thing. Who's the number 3 receiver on Minnesota?
My dog KJ.
39.5.
The purple goblin, bro.
So they're saying KJ is going to have more receiving yards than Thielen, number 1. They're also saying he's going to have more receptions. There's a problem there for me, right? So I don't want to touch either one of those when you have the 2 and the 3 right next to each other.
No.
They're literally right next to each other, right?
And if anything,
that is something that when I'm looking at props, I am looking for. I'm looking for the anomaly, right? I'm looking for the anomaly. I'm looking for something that is, all of these. One
of these things is not like the other.
One of these things
is not
like the other. I want. What is the one thing that's not like the other, right?
I got you, bro. Check this out. Check this out. Here's how I diagnose that. Thielen anytime TD. KJ over on his receiving. Jefferson over on his receiving. Thielen's the one that goes under.
And that's so possible. So again, why am I touching that?
But watch some shit like that happen. Tell me that's not how you game script this fucking game. Oh wow!
Look at this.
Oh
wow! Cincinnati versus Baltimore, right?
I might SGP that. And after I just gave a whole speech about not playing SGPs, like I might SGP that.
Cincinnati versus Baltimore. Jamar Chase is sitting at 83.5 receiving. Take a stab at what they got T. Higgins at.
Ah, shit. They got Chase at what?
83.5.
83.5. He'll hit that. Which means Higgins is probably somewhere like 55.
65.
God damn it. I was going to say 60 at first. So I was like, nah, that feels a little high.
Where do you think they got Tyler Boyd?
40?
35.
Damn it. You heard me getting ready to say 30. Ah, God damn it.
Ooh.
One day I'm going to just hit one. One day I'm going to just get one.
They just created a line. They just created a line for Baltimore.
What is it?
J.K. Dobbins.
I knew it.
61.5 rushing.
I don't think I want to play that.
Not touching it.
I don't think I can. I don't think I have. I don't have the confidence.
Yeah. So that's my point. And so when you ask me what is my philosophy, what do I look at? Those are the things I'm looking at. I'm not just trying to go in there, and I like to take the over.
Why do I feel like I want to? If I play that, that would be one of those ones where I play the under.
Right. I like to play the over. So when I see something that just, it stands out and I'm like, I don't want to touch that. Right. Because I want the over. I want the over to hit on everything.
No Lamar and that Bengals defense.
They're going to be so one-dimensional.
Exactly. Damn.
Right? So, but I mean, it's that way across the board. And when I'm looking at these numbers, and that's why I get maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am completely wrong on the philosophy that I look at, but I just don't see. I don't see the value. But here's the other thing I look at, especially when you're looking at like running backs, right? You look at, they give you a line for receiving yards, they give you a line for rushing yards, then they give you a line for rushing and receiving. Right? Most of the time, that number is going to be a little bit lower if you add the two together on what it would be. But if it's the same fucking number, guess what I'm not doing? I ain't touching it.
Sometimes you just got to do a little bit of math. Other than that, is there anything that you want to add that you feel like we should add?
Now, make sure you come see us on Friday. I know we'll have some juicy.
Friday. Fist will fly. Like Friday's gonna be great. Whole gang will be here. We're gonna be going into some takes, ripping each other apart for their takes. It's gonna be
I'm gonna be fucking tearing Taco's ass.
We're gonna be playing a little bit of a drinking game as well. So don't forget that on that episode we'll be playing the last leg, Dilly. So this is gonna be dope. This is gonna be really cool to play. I'm excited to see my friends be on a different level than what they probably are accustomed to. This is the NFL playoffs. This is what we do. We make this shit fun for you guys. The season's getting ready to come to a close, so we gotta keep it interesting. We gotta keep it dope. Check out all of our sponsors. Links are in the description. Go check them out. Drop that menu down. Keep showing us love on over on Twitch. Like, comment, subscribe here on YouTube. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do. We love and appreciate you. Dilly.
Holy shit.